right. Today we are diving into a really cool concept called gastronomy. It sits right at that sweet spot where fine dining meets planetary health. And honestly, it might just change the way you think about food forever. So here's the big question, right? How can we eat food that is absolutely delicious while also actively healing the earth? We often think sustainability means we have to give something up, but what if it didn't? What if our food could be incredible and regenerative? It's a huge challenge for sure, but gastronomy is all about finding a way forward. So, what on earth is gastronomy? I know, it's a new word, but it's built on a really powerful and actually pretty simple idea. It's about combining our love of amazing food with the urgent need for a sustainable future. Let's break down what that fusion actually looks like. Okay, at its core, gastronomy is a practical framework. It's not just one thing. As you can see, it weaves together the art of cooking, the hard science of circular systems, where nothing is wasted, and the philosophy of caring for our planet's health. It brings it all together into one unified approach to what we eat. And really, it all boils down to this surprisingly simple equation. You take gastronomy, that's the art and science of good food, and you fuse it with sustainomy, which is all about sustainable living and economics. And boom, you get gastronomy. It's such a clear and memorable way to think about a really big idea. But okay, how does this actually work in the real world? Let's treat it like a recipe. We're going to break down the core ingredients, the key components that make up this whole gastronomy framework and bring it to life. Now, what's so cool about this is how it organizes the entire concept into these 4 connected domains. It's a really complete framework. See, it all starts with ingredient sourcing. Then it moves into gastronomy. That's where all the creativity happens. Then it's supported by the economic model of sustainomy. And finally, it's all spread through education. It's a whole system that works together. A framework like this is awesome, but its real value, of course, is in what you can do with it. So let's move from the theory and look at some actual, tangible examples of how gastronomy gets from an idea onto your table. And check this out. These are some real examples of gastronomy in action. Instead of seeing waste, circular ingredients see opportunity. Think about turning leftover citrus peels into these incredible flavor extracts, or culinary innovation that isn't just about new tastes, but about designing an entire fine dining experience that produces 0 emissions. And this isn't just theory. Projects like the gastronomy class are already making this stuff happen. Now, you might be thinking this is all just a nice philosophy based on good intentions, but nope, it's actually grounded in some pretty hard science. So let's take a closer look at the scientific principles that give this whole approach its credibility and its power. The science here is really what makes it all click. It combines the fundamental chemistry of taste, like the Maillard reaction, that beautiful browning that gives bread its crust or a steak its savory flavor, and it combines that with hard sustainability metrics like tracking your carbon footprint. It also uses these really smart circular design principles like biorefining to turn what we'd normally call food waste into brand new valuable resources. And this perfectly illustrates what we mean by systems thinking. It's a closed-loop system where the lab, the farm, and the kitchen are all talking to each other. Discoveries in the lab can inform what happens on the farm, which then empowers incredible innovation in the kitchen. It's this amazing virtuous cycle where each part is constantly making the others better. So, as you can probably tell by now, the ambition here goes way beyond just a single restaurant. This is a framework that's really designed for global impact. We're talking about creating a menu that can help sustain not just us, but our entire planet. And look, you don't have to just take my word for it. You can see right here how gastronomy lines up directly with several of the UN's huge sustainable development goals. This is a framework for real, measurable change. By creating resilient food sources, it hits 0 hunger. By designing out waste, it's tackling responsible consumption. And by focusing on a lower carbon footprint, it contributes directly to climate action. It's the real deal. Okay, but here's the best part. This is not just a concept for scientists and famous chefs. This is an invitation for everyone to become an explorer in this new world of food. It's a chance for all of us to help shape a more delicious and sustainable future. Which brings us to this awesome new term, the gastronaut, a traveler through taste and sustainability. I love that. It's a brand new identity that invites all of us to jump in. You don't have to be an expert. You just have to be curious and willing to explore how incredible sustainable flavors can be. So, this brings us to the final and I think most important question. As a newly minted gastronaut, what's your next sustainable flavor discovery going to be? It could be a new recipe, a local farm you decide to support, or maybe just a new way of looking at the food in your own kitchen. The exploration starts now, and I really hope this has given you some food for thought.